After playing a ton of Trigger since her release on 3 separate accounts, one, an M0 only account where I can't go above M0, and a pretty much a new account, and lastly a full M6 account, I think I'm ready for an honest review of Trigger. I'm gonna start today's video with the conclusion first. I believe we're still at a point in Zenless Zone Zero where we can pull for whoever we want without too much fear. However, I don't know how long that is gonna last. We have no freaking idea where the Zenless Zone Zero devs are going to take us with 2.0. Is it going to be the land of HP inflation on bosses? Is it going to be power creep? We have no freaking idea, right? But so far, I still think we're at a point in ZZZ where we can pull for whoever we want without too much fear. So does Trigger add numerical value? Do you get a return for your investment? Because you are paying with your time in a broader sense. Okay, in a broader sense, Trigger definitely does add value in general. Then let's say a recently released meta character like Evelyn, you know, just as an example, Trigger is definitely a nice boost to your account in multiple ways. So while you don't need her, if you want her and get her, you won't regret it. Currently, she works with all current meta teams, and for now, I'd put her one step below Astra in terms of mileage, longevity. She feels like a little bit more modernized stunner Astra. Keyword here is feels. Trigger, she's even good with Ellen Joe. Pretty much all the attackers. She's definitely competing for the top, if not the top stunner in a lot of the current teams right now. Now that the conclusion is out of the way, I want to talk about the things I noticed here on the live servers. So first of all, let's talk about the basics. I'm gonna try to explain this as simple as possible. She might sound complex, but she is not. She's very casual friendly. Before you get onto your attacker, you're gonna get on Trigger, and you see she has a meter. It's the purge meter, but I really want to keep this elementary casual friendly really simplified, right? I'm gonna do more of like a detailed video of how to play Trigger even better, but for now you got the meter and you want to charge it up. So at the start of the fight, you hold down your basic attack, it's gonna enter the sniper stance and it's gonna fill up the gauge. You don't really need to fill up this whole gauge. She's gonna deplete this gauge pretty slowly. It's almost like Astra's X special. Just hold down your basic attack, fill up the purge however much you need. It's like gasoline, and then get the quick assess prompt and switch to your main attacker.
Recalibrating.
And when you do switch with the quick assist, as you guys attack the enemy, Trigger pretty much assists you. So as you can see, the daze bar is going up. Now, it's not just her doing the daze, but the active character also contributing to the daze. And as you can see, right there, there is the damage increaser. That is from Trigger's core passive. So the damage increaser is outside of the stun and in the stun as well. So that's the difference between reading the wall of text versus just playing her. For those that are on the fence, right, that haven't pulled it yet, what I noticed was that purge feels good. If it's gonna be an under 20-second disc drive farm, you know, you just tap it once or twice, you go into the sniper mode, hit it once or twice, swap right out, you just set it and forget it. It's very modern, feels modern. So if purge feels good, she does daze while your on-field character is contributing with her to do the daze. And daze is good because I don't know if you guys use your own damage calculators and things like that, like Exo Shades, but a lot of the damage do come during the stun window, and also daze contributes towards your decibels. And when the enemy is in the stun state, we do the chain attacks. Chain attacks also contribute a lot to the decibels. TLDR speeds up the fight. Okay, speeds up the playstyle. Oh man, I need to make a video about this, but like the ZZZ gameplay has changed a lot. I don't want to say meta defining characters, but pretty much playstyle defining characters. There are some of them. There are some of those characters that do really modernize the ZZZ gameplays. What I'm trying to say is Trigger feels good, Trigger feels modern. I know a lot of people don't actively think about this. How does Trigger make me feel while playing this action game like this? How do I feel passively? I feel just less burden because Trigger, you just give her some gasoline and forget about her and she does her thing. I don't need to like micromanage a stunner separately. I don't need to think about like reapplying something or activating this something. It just feels so good, less burden. Oh, do I need to like swap into this and then finish up my stun, or do I need to get on the hyper carry and build enough energy so that during the stun window, like, but you know what I mean? Like, dude, the Trigger, you don't have to really worry about that. She got you, bro. Passively, you feel less stress. You just enjoying the game more. I mean, that's the point of gaming, right? Even with that Astra dude, it feels really good because she do have a lot of like quick assist prompts. Another reason why I feel like it's very modern take on stunners, like yeah, there's an active stunner like Chingy, there is the quick swap stunner like Lighter, and then there we got this passive stunner. It feels like, you know, some people, they do complain, like, I know there are some casual players that do complain about like the daily grind, like farming discs. They don't really enjoy it. They want a little bit more of that like hunky star rail kind of like autoplay, right? So Trigger, if you think about it, she does enable a little bit of that autoplay, especially if you play her with Astra. You got the Astra's passive damage as well as Trigger's passive damage. It's not complete autoplay, but it does. There's a lot of like stuff going around like you're seeing on the screen. But yeah, it just feels like you got a bunch of friends helping you out, man. Is she a must pull? Nah, man. Like if I have to make a tier list of must pulls, she's not there, right? But does she bring something to your account pretty much immediately? Oh yeah, she does. Like she's not gonna like double or like give you like, you know, 50% more to your whole account, but you know what I mean? Like she's at least moving your account forward for the time you spent on her. When I say time, I mean like the time you spent farming the polychromes, you know, the stamina, you know what I mean. But the biggest question is Trigger the one that carries your account? Like, does it give more mileage, more bang for its buck than, let's say, Vivian or Hugo or whoever's coming out in 2.0? I mean, we don't know, right? That's why I go back to what I said at the beginning. If you like Trigger, but you don't know for certain how she plays or how she feels currently. Is she good in the meta or something like that? Or is she good as a daily driver? Does she feel good? Is she clunky? Like if you wanted to know more of that detail, right? That's what we're talking about. I feel like she's gonna age well. A lot of people are experimenting right now, and you know, it's just like Astra, where it's shaking up the way people are making teams right now. So like I said, she can work with even Billy, Harumasa, and she's definitely with Ambi. I'm seeing some crazy clear times, but she doesn't need to be with Ambi. Like if you don't have Ambi, that's okay. She can work with a lot of the attackers or the same attribute lightning users, and I feel like she's gonna have, yeah, she could pretty much work with almost all the attackers right now. I played her with Yanagi, and I don't really like Yanagi. I don't know why I don't really like her. Maybe it's her outfit, but that's just a subjective stupid thing. Putting that aside, she made me like Yanagi. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. One of my viewers was like, can you play her with Yanagi? Trigger and Yanagi? I was like, and I did. I was like, holy, yo, I'm enjoying Yanagi again. What the frick? I forgot to play her, but, you know, I'm enjoying her again with Trigger. And yeah, like, I think she's going to age well. Now, is she going to age well as Astra? I mean, I don't know. Like, the thing about Astra is, I want her in like 3 different teams, especially in Deadly Assault, but we can't do that. We can't split her up. However, now that Trigger came out, I do feel like she is kind of like I said, a mini Astra. Like, yeah, I miss you, Astra, but I still got you, Trigger. And I love you too as well, Trigger. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's until we get another kind of an Astra, and we will, like, Trigger is that temporarily relief as well. But even when that second Astra comes out, like, it's not like I don't think Trigger is gonna like go away anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, she'll just go be with that new Astra or with the original Astra. So I like that core where it works with the attack character as well as the same attributes. She's a very general stunner. Even on my new account, when I'm pushing all the blue quests and the story and the main story, there's a lot of combat now that they got rid of most of the TV modes. So instead of like the mundane, I'm just staying on a character and whacking away. Trigger forced me to chain assist or quick assist. So it does spice up all of the combat that I have to do while trying to get to level 60. So what I'm trying to say is like newer players will enjoy Trigger as well. It's not just like she's good only in the end game. She feels good like doing dailies. She feels good everywhere, pretty much. I played her everywhere. Actually, it's kind of weird. Like, she's not a character you're spamming away or you're on field a lot, but she's addicting. It's really hard. It's really hard to describe. In terms of endgame with Ambi, I don't know about you guys, but Ambi and Trigger together is just crazy. It went from kind of like a chill gameplay before Trigger. Now that I have Trigger, I'm so busy on Ambi to build up her energy so that by the time the boss is stunned, I have pretty much at least 1x special because I have an M6 Ambi. Like, it was already fun, but now it's even turbo speed is so fun. And people like to only look at Trigger's days, but your on-field character is also contributing with the days and of course the damage, right? So it's not like you have to swap and sacrifice damage while you build up days. You're doing both at the same time. And also there's a lot of quirks and tricks you could do with Trigger as well. Like I said, that's gonna be a separate video. She can go into the sniper mode and eat up a damage. It's got an 8-second cooldown, but you can still use it. You know, when like the boss goes in the air or he's about to land and you don't know the exact timing, you could go into the sniper mode. Another thing I like about Trigger is that I'm not relying too much on the X special. Sometimes, depending on the team you play, you forget that you got an X special. You know, you're so busy with the on-field character. But when you do remember, her X special will be there for the extra days. And there's a lot of way to pretty much customize her in terms of her days. Like if you want faster or a little bit slower, or like you could pretty much test it yourself and find like that perfect spot. You could go with the 4-piece shock star, slot 6 impact. Some people are trying attack slot 6 or 2-piece swing jazz. So I tried all of those, so you can pretty much tinker around and fit it to a style that you like as well for your team. Her gearing is a little strict. That's one of her cons, but at the same time, once you do invest into her gear, there is a way for you to pretty much fine-tune it to your liking. And let's talk about the cons. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The timing, it feels like lighter. Lighter came out right before, I believe, Miyabi skipping Trigger in general for the very much hyped up, anticipated waifu Vivian. And of course, there's 2.0, the first anniversary. There's going to be some crazy hype. Maybe Miyabi returns or Caesar reruns or Astra reruns. Who knows? Horse stunners. I get it, man. Like, stunner don't get as much hype as like the attackers in general. And I was one of those people as well. Didn't really get into the stunners myself, but then Trigger changed my mind. Like, I mean, Lighter started it. Have a newfound appreciation for the stunners. But yeah, to keep it short, wrap it up, I do enjoy playing her, not just with Ambi. Maybe revisit Yanagi, and of course she works well with Miyabi as well, and pretty much a lot of the current, like even Evelyn, yeah, they're like, when we do Deadly Assault, lightning and fire, they don't work well together because of the resistance. But outside of that, even with Evelyn, it felt pretty nice. Like, yeah, I could play, I have a lighter, yeah, I could play with lighter, but then Trigger just feels so good, you know what I mean? Like, while lighter might be the best choice, like when I'm just trying to do my dailies and maybe I want to play with some Evelyn, I put on Astra and then I get on Trigger and then I just stay on Evelyn and be a little lazy. To go back to the cons, she is a little bit expensive to build because of the 90%. Getting to 90% for her core passive, if you get to like 85, 87, you know, or you go overboard a little bit, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit harder to gear. The discs rolls, the investment, stamina investment, yeah, it's there. Now, as for the Wenjin as well as the Mindscapes, obviously the Wenjin is nice, right? Like, Wenjin has that defense, reduced defense, shred, whatever, they all stack, they're additive, but they're a separate multiplier. And this is one of the reasons why I also like Trigger, because, well, it's just my case, right? And also you need to think about it in your case. But for me, I have the M6R5 Ambi, and she has just way too much with Astra increased damage, like electric damage, which stacks with additively with other damage effects. So she was, when I was running her simulations, she wanted a pen ratio this 5, but then with Trigger's Wenjin in mind, she can keep her electric damage slot 5. So I was like, phew, you know, I don't want to farm pen ratio like I did for Miyabi. Anyways, yeah, the defense shred is nice. Like the extra impact and all that is nice, but it's not needed. But yeah, Wenjin is nice, but I don't really recommend it in this economy if you're free to play. And as for Mindscapes, if you have an M6, you don't want to use all 5 at the beginning. You want to save for the stun. depending on the team, but that's more for like later, another video, like tips and tricks. But for like, you know, I don't think a lot of people can go M6, right? So before I lose you guys, like M1, yeah, it's nice, the additional 20%. And then this one, the maximum purge, useless. The harmonizing shot, you know, the aftershock, right? When she's off field, she dances around. It's attacking every 2 seconds instead of 3 seconds, so it uses more purge. But it's, even so, you don't run out of purge that much. Okay, M1's nice. M2 is the 24% crit damage, but y'all got a lot of crit damage, so this has diminishing returns. I don't know, man. The Mindscapes, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the Mindscapes M0 R1 versus maxed out trigger was about 20 seconds. So yeah, she does have a few cons, but I don't think really is like a deal breaker. The biggest deal breaker, I think, could be her timing. So I hope you guys choose wisely, but going forward for me, I feel like I'm definitely not going to regret her on all my accounts. She's contributing everywhere, but I want to be very clear. I was doing fine without her, but with her, it just feels more modern, a little bit more passive, more auto. It's just smoother and less things to worry about and micromanage.